So, I guess we have a friend joining us for this one. He is very needy today. Hey folks, my name is Jen. Hello and welcome to another video. I am joined today by Mr. Sakamoto, who apparently just needs all of the snuggles. So this video will be just slightly different than usual, sort of. So during the summer I ended up making like summer vibes video, just checking in about my summer vibes. I did that again for fall, which is my favorite season, and then you know what, I decided why not do one for winter too. Let's do the whole year. How about that? Pretty much. And here comes the other cat. Hi, Banks. Yes, welcome. Basically, I figured I'd just check in and talk about what I've been into this winter. It is February. It is the last month of winter, technically. Even though March sometimes also feels like winter in New England. So let's let's check in here about the winter. So my vibes so far, things that I've been into. Well, a lot of hot drinks, a lot of hot things. I have piping hot tea right now, which is, tea is like a constant with me. Whether tea or coffee. I usually drink coffee like every day because caffeine, you know, it gets into your system and I can't wake up without it, which is like terrible also for like anxiety, but you know what, we have to make some decisions. I have tea here that is peppermint, because I have a headache today, so I'm trying to like flush it on out. But yeah, so during winter I usually drink oftentimes a lot of peppermint tea, a lot of ginger or cinnamon flavored ones. I'm a big fan of Celestial Seasonings, so I bounce between their flavors quite a lot, but during the winter I especially like Vermont Maple Ginger and the Bengal Spice, and I really like those with like some milk and sugar. They're pretty good. I'm also a big fan of Lady Grey, although oftentimes that tea to me feels more like a spring tea. I don't know why. I have also recently discovered, well, not discovered, but like tried out cold brew and actually really enjoyed it. So that's been something, although I have to tell you, if you want to try cold brew, do not do what I did the first time that I tried it, which was have a glass and then a little while later have some more, because damn was I jittery and all kinds of things later. It was not very helpful at all, because there's a lot of caffeine in it, so be careful, folks. Well, the holidays were a lot of good things, good foods and stuff like that. I'm still on like a sweetness kick. I recently tried these particular like ginger snaps. They're called peppercocker. I know it sounds terrible, but I'm probably mispronouncing it. They're like Norwegian ginger snap cookies, and I'm going to be making them for like this fun weekend next month, and I wanted to actually taste what they're supposed to taste like and see what they're supposed to look like and everything before I actually eat them. So when I just went away for a weekend with a couple of friends, we saw the Scandinavian shop, and I found them in there in the food section and bought them, and they are addictive. I would highly recommend eating them and like getting them and eating them, or making them and eating them, because they're fucking delicious. Let's see, what have I also been into? Things I've been listening to. So you know, around the holidays, it was all Christmas music all the time with me. Found Christmas lo-fi this year, which was actually really enjoyable. I kind of like lo-fi. It's something, it's kind of like jazz, where it's like just something nice to have on in the background when you're like doing whatever. Very chill. So I have like different seasonal kind of lo-fi or like vintage sounds that I really like. And yeah, I found like a couple of different Christmas lo-fi playlists on Spotify, and I really enjoyed that a lot. What else have I been into? Winter always for me is interesting. It's like a winter and also kind of a spring thing. I'll listen to them any time of year, but it's like winter and spring. I tend to listen to a lot more of Aurora, and also of Monsters and Men. It's just something about the way the music sounds, just, it, I don't know, it has a wintry vibe to me. My favorite album of Aurora's is, oh, let me see, probably I think it's All My Demons Knowing My Name. I'll try to flash up like an image of the album cover. She's come out with a couple of albums since then, but that is still my favorite album of hers, is that one. Just like her first one, I believe. And then of Monsters and Men, I have also listened to more of their albums, but like the one that makes my heart happy the most is My Head is an Animal. That was my introduction to them years ago. I think that was also their first album, I believe, or maybe they had another album before that, but yeah, that's basically, I'll show you that too, although if you know them you probably know that cover anyway, but yeah, there's something just very wintry to me about it, but I'll listen to them at any point in the year pretty much, but that's, yeah, I really enjoy that. Along those lines, I have also recently discovered Noah, I think his last name is Kahane, or maybe it's Kahan. I'm probably fucking it up, but yeah, he is like this Vermont singer, and yeah, I just recently heard one of his songs on a playlist. Sometimes I just look up, like, type random things into Spotify and see what comes up, and this playlist came up, and his song, I think it's his biggest song, potentially, is Stick Season, and it just, damn, it got me. And so I ended up looking up his other, the rest of his music, and I just really love it. It's just, it gets you right in the heart, but it's also like, the music is beautiful and catchy, and some of it makes me a little bit homesick, and like, yeah, I just really enjoy it, and I'm still making my way through his music, but yeah, I've been really, really enjoying it, this past, like, I don't know how long it's been, a couple of weeks? Yeah, a couple of weeks I've been listening. I have also been listening to One OK Rock. They are one of my, well, actually, my, like, favorite Japanese rock band of all time. And I absolutely love their music, and I go through, like, moods with them. There's a couple of songs that I listen to quite a lot, but I don't really, I go through, like, certain periods of time in which maybe I'll only listen to those couple of songs, but then I don't listen to, like, their full albums for a while, and then I'll do, like, listen again, and that's just what it's been like the past, like, month or so, has been listening to all of their albums. I think my favorite is probably Ambitions, their Ambitions album. I think that came out in 2017. That has my favorite song on it, which is called We Are, and there's something about it just pleases my inner like angsty 15-year-old that lives inside of me. And yeah, I love their music, I love their band, I love their vibe. They're just a great bunch of guys, and yeah, it's some good shit. I will try to leave like links to the stuff I'm talking about maybe in the description box. I think there's like, yeah, I'll find their music videos or whatever things I'm talking about, and I'll try to leave them down below so you can see what I'm talking about if you have no idea what I'm going on about. Something else I've been listening to since last month has been industrial musicals, which you might be like, what the fuck is that exactly? So my bestie got me into them because she watched this documentary thing on, is it on Netflix or is it on Hulu? I think it's on Netflix. I ended up watching it too, but I was over at their house, so I can't remember what streaming service it was on. But yeah, we industrial musicals were basically this thing where big corporations would, you know, get together, get all their employees together for like these conventions, and it was like this way of getting together and going over how things have been in the sales, updating people on things, teaching them stuff. They teach them, you have workshops and stuff like that. And it was also a way of treating them. You know, they'd have big dinners, they'd have fun stuff that they do, and one way of entertaining them was to put on a musical about their product and about the salespeople, and stuff like that, and the customers, people who would be using the product. So there's just all kinds of different things. I'll also leave like a link to, I got the like a playlist off of Spotify, but yeah, I'll try to either leave a link to that or to anything that I'm talking about if there's a video link or something to so you can see. It is weird. These musicals were never meant to be seen by anyone other than the employees, but sometimes the records would pop up in like shops over the decades and people would collect them. And one of these collectors was a writer for the David Letterman show, and he became obsessed and absolutely loved it, and started tracking down the people who wrote the musicals, people who played in them, performed, and various things like that. And it ended up becoming like a book and a documentary. The book, unfortunately, is extremely expensive and very hard to get, so that's like my white whale at this point, is I want to read that book, but it's too much out of my price range. The documentary is called Bathtubs Over Broadway, and it is pretty great. It is pretty great. So yeah, I highly recommend that as like something to watch too if you're just interested if you like musicals, you like musical history, you like history, or you are into very quirky interests, because I would call this a very quirky interest, because it's not everybody, I think, that can sit and willingly listen to music about how great tires are, and what heroes that tire salesmen are, or about bathrooms. The bathrooms are coming, the, you know, toilets and and different things like that. My personal favorite from the musicals is still He's a Penny's Man, which is about JCPenney salesmen. I don't know what it is about it. It's just so fucking catchy, and yeah, that's the one that I like the most, I think, out of all of them. But it is, it's very entertaining, and I also recommend the documentary. So that's something that I watched and was pretty into. I've also been binging Bones. I watched, I don't know how many seasons of that, like years ago. I think I got up to like season 5 or 6 maybe or something. Maybe further than that, I'm not sure. But yeah, recently realized that it is on Hulu. And so yeah, my reading kind of has fallen down quite a bit because I have been just binging the shit out of Bones. Although I do have to say I have to take a breather every now and again because I'm definitely a different person than I was a few years ago because the gross things gross me out more than they did then. So yeah, I have to take a breather every now and again because while like watching certain cop shows like NCIS and stuff like that, sometimes things are gross but they're not like overly gross, but like Bones, because it's like forensic anthropology, there's a lot of gross things. It's like really gross. So yeah. But I'm still like overall enjoying my time like rewatching it. Yeah. My husband has also been doing a rewatch of Adventure Time, and since before this I had only ever seen like maybe 5 or 6 episodes. I've also been like rewatching it and just really enjoying it. I currently have BMO as the background on my phone because BMO is my absolute favorite character on the show. Although I am also partial to Marceline. I think Marceline's freaking great, and her fanfiction counterpart, I think he's Marcel. I also really enjoy him. I think he's adorable. I've been enjoying that. Let's see, what else have I been into? Listening wise, other than like the music and stuff, I've been doing the usual. I listen to audiobooks to fall asleep, or Ma Bam Bam. I watch a lot of listen to a lot of Ma Bam Bam to fall asleep, because those goofballs are just, I don't know, they help lull me. Audiobooks, oftentimes, it's usually the same, like 2 or 3 audiobooks. Around the World in 80 Days, A Murder is Announced, or Cards on the Table. Those are the 3 that I come back to again and again to fall asleep to. Why? I don't know, there's something comforting and soothing about it, and I also like the voice, the people reading it. Hugh Fraser, who played Captain Hastings in the Poirot TV series, he reads Cards on the Table, and yeah, so I really enjoy listening to that one. Let me see, what else have I been listening to? Mostly the usual, Bam Bam, Real Life Ghost Stories, Once Upon a Crime, The Adventure Zone, wonderful. I also have been listening to, I think I mentioned them in a previous, like, when I just discovered a couple of new true crime ones, Fresh Hell Podcast, Vintage Homicide. So I'm still listening to those and just kind of adding them to my many, many podcasts that I, at this point, are a little bit overwhelming because I feel like there's too many to catch up on, but I also don't want to delete any of them off of my Spotify because I know that I will eventually get to them and I don't want to forget, that they existed or anything. Because I have a lot going on in my brain attic and I can't keep track of everything all the time. So, recently discovered another true crime podcast, which is True Crime Campfire, and it's really entertaining. They say they're roasting murderers and marshmallows around the true crime campfire, and yeah, they do roast murderers a lot. Like, there are some very inventive insults that are said quite often. They kind of frame each episode kind of like a story, like you're sitting around a campfire telling a story. So they kind of frame it in that way. and explain kind of what happened. Meanwhile, you know, like I said, roasting the shit out of bad people all the time, which is very entertaining, and the hosts are very funny. So yeah, I've been really enjoying that one. Other than that, everything that I've been into, well, the weather isn't really cooperating with me so much. I've been really wanting to go for like walks, because I have to like be out in the woods sometimes, and just because if I'm not, I just feel like I'm slowly losing my ever-loving mind, and I don't feel content again until after I've been able to go for a walk in the woods by myself. And yeah, the weather has not been cooperating because it's either been really freezing, and when it's not really freezing, it's raining or sleeting or snowing. And when it's not doing any of those things, when it's good weather, I'm either at work or we have plans to do something else and I can't go for a walk. So it's been really bothering me, and I'm really hoping that the weather will start cooperating pretty soon, a little bit at least, because yeah, I feel like I'm losing my mind, and I just need like 40 minutes just in the trees, just breathing, you know? Yeah. Okay, so I don't know what all of that was. There's a lot of pops, and it's really hard to tell here if it's illegal firecrackers or someone with a gun. So that's fun. Alright, we're not going to worry about it. Other things I've been into. Well, reading. You can see I finished a couple of books for this month already, although only one of them's for Feb Regency because I don't know, guys. My brain is just not with it. I am reading Female Quixote. I'm not that far into it. And other than that, I'm also reading Get a Life, Chloe Brown. I have made some pretty good progress on this one. Let me tell you, steamy. Steamy. Not much physical things have happened. And hot damn. That's all I can say. Hot damn. Other than that, things that I'm reading, my current book, I always take a book to read on lunch breaks at work. I didn't want to bring any of my classics with me because they're awkward, and I didn't feel really uncomfortable reading romance novels at work. So I brought the next Harry Pratchett book, or the next one, like chronologically, in Discworld. So it's Weird Sisters, and I really like it so far. It's funny, and there is some shit going down. I'm enjoying it. Other than that, while I've been kind of listening to podcasts or trying to catch up on YouTube videos, which is actually what I'm probably gonna do after this, is I have been knitting. I am knitting my husband a scarf. I'm hoping to have it finished before, you know, we don't have blizzards anymore. But yeah, so that's something else I've been up to. Other than that, it's been writing. I got a little bit more writing done in my current work in progress. It wasn't that much because I wasn't really feeling it, but I am probably going to start on an actual, like, outline, because I haven't made an actual outline, which is probably ill-advised. Yeah, I've done like character profile stuff on a couple of my main characters, and I have like the basics in, and I've been doing like research and stuff because it's set in the past. But yeah, no, I really need to sit down and do an actual outline, because that would be actually helpful to know where the fuck I'm going with this instead of what I normally do, which is find out with the characters. But this is not very helpful for the style of thing that I'm writing, so. And then, other than that, it's just been a lot of video planning. I started doing the 2 videos a week thing, just because of, you know, the end of the year, and how, like, the beginning of the year, always there's a lot of videos that I want to get out as soon as possible, like best books of the year, worst books of the year-end wrap-up, my year TBR, my monthly TBR, my, you know, the previous month's wrap-up, the anticipated reads for the year, like all of that stuff. I wanted to have all of that up as soon as possible. So yeah, I ended up going from 1 video a week to 2, and I thought, well, maybe I'll settle down after that, but I've actually been liking the groove of getting 2 videos up at a time, and I've been trying to stay on top of it. So I can do that. I brainstormed a little bit more, and I think that I can manage to continue to do 2 a week for a while. If it ends up becoming just too much at some point, or I'm starting to run out of ideas here and there, I might drop it back to 1 a week for a while. But yeah, so far it's been, again with that, what is happening? So yeah, I basically think that I can, yeah, continue with the 2 a week for now. Anyway, I've got this one going up. I have a reading vlog that I did a while ago, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna put it up or not. It's just such a slog. So I don't know if I'm gonna end up nixing it, or if I will end up finishing editing it and get it up and stuff like that. I don't know. But yeah, I have some other things that I would like to get up for you guys. A couple of things that I'm really interested in, but it's I have to do a little bit more work on them, prep work and stuff, so it's just a matter of finding that prep work, you know, before I actually do the stuff. But yeah, that's where things are at. That's been my winter vibes pretty much. That's pretty much that. It's been my winter vibes pretty much. Somebody else's winter vibes is apparently shooting targets out in the woods, so that's fun. So yeah, that's what this winter has been like. I am so glad that February is flying by, in all honesty. I've been trying to be more happier about each of the seasons as they go by, and trying to enjoy them more and appreciate their necessary, you know, what makes them necessary for nature. But I don't know, man, this year it has been hard so far. So I'm just really glad that February is zooming along, and soon we'll be at March, and even though that's when we still get a lot of snowstorms, and you know, it is also technically the beginning of spring in there, and so it'll start getting lighter and a little bit better soon, so yeah. Anyway, that's been my winter vibes, basically. Let me know what y'all's vibes have been like. What have you been vibing with so far this winter? Listening to, watching. Have you also been, you know, listening to or watching any similar things? Yeah, let me know. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, Thank you for always watching. If you're new here, please consider subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.